Have you ever tasted something so naturally sweet, so rich in history, and so healing that it feels like a gift from nature itself? Honey is just that, a golden nectar that not only sweetens your life, but also nourishes your body with every drop. Today, we're taking you through a rarely seen traditional method of harvesting honey in bulk. The journey begins inside the hive, where the miracle of life unfolds. When a bee egg hatches, a tiny legless white larva emerges, looking more like a gummy worm than a buzzing pollinator. These larvae are nurtured within the hive's hexagonal wax cells, which are nature's perfect architectural design, built to store food, protect young bees, and maintain the hive's internal temperature. Worker bees venture out, flying from flower to flower, gathering nectar with their long black tongues. But how do humans collect honey from such a delicate and tightly woven ecosystem? That's where skilled beekeepers come in, often dressed in protective suits, gloves, and helmets. Before any frame is removed, a puff of smoke is released into the hive. This doesn't hurt the bees. It calms them by masking their alarm pheromones, encouraging them to stay inside and eat honey instead of attacking. Using a hive tool, the beekeeper carefully separates each frame, then gently brushes off the bees using a soft brush, ensuring the insects are unharmed. The honey-filled frames are collected one by one and transferred into clean boxes, ready for the next stage. Once transported to the factory, the boxes of honeycombs undergo their first transformation. Machines are used to remove the top wax layer, or capping, from both sides of the combs. This step is crucial, as it unlocks the sealed chambers and exposes the thick, golden honey inside. While some honey begins to leak naturally from the uncapped frames, the bulk of it still clings to the walls of the comb. The frames are loaded into a spinning machine that uses high-speed rotation to fling the honey out of the combs, collecting it into large stainless steel drums. This spinning method ensures that even the last drop is extracted. For extraction, the honey still contains traces of wax and pollen, so it is passed through fine sieves to remove impurities. What's left is flawless golden honey, thick, shiny, and ready for bottling. It is stored in large containers at a carefully controlled warm temperature to maintain its fluidity, making it easier to pour. On the bottling line, jars are placed on a conveyor belt and aligned under filling nozzles, which dispense an exact amount of honey into each container with minimal spillage. Automated capping arms then seal the jars tightly to preserve freshness and flavor. The entire process is seamless, thanks to automation, which supports both productivity and precision, while easing the labor burden on workers. But the honey journey doesn't stop there. In a specialized facility, a portion of this premium honey is used to create innovative products like honey spoons, portable, mess-free, and incredibly convenient. Workers mold honey into small spoon shapes using food-grade plastic or silicone molds. Each honey spoon is then individually sealed in a foil or plastic wrapper, turning it into a single-serving delight. Bees continue their tireless work. Flowers bloom, and the cycle begins anew. Cotton, often referred to as white gold, is one of the most essential textile fibers in the world. From basic t-shirts to luxury linens, this humble crop drives a global industry. In fact, over 70% of all clothing contains cotton, with more than 25 million tons produced annually. The process begins in the fields long before planting even starts. Farmers meticulously prepare the soil by plowing it to loosen the earth and remove weeds. This creates the perfect environment for seeds to grow strong roots. Cotton seeds are then planted in carefully spaced rows at specific depths to Within a few weeks, cotton plants begin to flower, producing blossoms that change color as they mature. Eventually, these flowers fall away, leaving behind small pods called cotton bolls. After about 5 months, the cotton plants are ready for harvest. Modern harvesting is done with specialized mechanical harvesters that have revolutionized the industry. These machines sweep through fields with spinning drums and sharp spiked hooks that pluck the fluffy white cotton from each plant. One modern harvester can gather as much cotton in a single day as 250 people could by hand, making the process not only faster but vastly more efficient. It's first cleaned to remove any remaining debris like leaves, stems, and twigs. Then, it enters a ginning machine where rotating blades and hot air separate the fibers from the seeds. Moisture is evaporated, and suction systems remove unwanted particles. What remains are clean, fluffy cotton fibers ready to be graded. Fibers are classified by length, strength, and color, with the best batches reserved for high-quality textiles. The purified cotton fibers are compressed into fresh bales and sent to spinning mills for the next stage. In North Carolina, one of America's oldest and most respected yarn manufacturers takes over. Each week, this facility produces enough yarn to make over 5 million t-shirts. But cotton alone isn't enough to make t-shirt yarn. For comfort, flexibility, and durability, cotton is blended with polyester and rayon. These fibers are mixed in large vats, creating a waterfall-like cascade of fluff. The mixture then moves through a metal cylinder lined with fine wires in a process known as carding. Here, more than 25 million t-shirts are manufactured annually. These machines weave 108 threads into a delicate web-like fabric. Then, 1,620 needles knit the threads into a continuous circular tube of cloth, the base material for the classic t-shirt. Before this fabric can become clothing, it must be dyed. But since it's a blend of polyester, rayon, and cotton, each fiber requires a different dyeing process. To solve this, the fabric is submerged in 2 separate dye baths. The polyester is dyed at a high temperature of 130 degrees Celsius, while the cotton and rayon are dyed at a milder 60 degrees Celsius. In the cutting room, large rolls of dyed fabric arrive ready for shaping. Before any cuts are made, computer-generated patterns are used to optimize the layout. Each t-shirt is made from 6 separate pieces, and the cutting software arranges them like a massive jigsaw puzzle. A high-speed laser cutter slices through the fabric in minutes, producing hundreds of identical sets. These pieces are then delivered to the sewing floor, where over 3,000 machines operate in synchronized rhythm. Each worker focuses on a single step: sleeves, necklines, hems, allowing for maximum efficiency. It takes a team of 13 people to complete one t-shirt. Once assembled, every shirt undergoes strict quality control. Inspectors check for flaws in stitching, consistency in size, and uniformity in color. Only garments that meet rigorous standards are approved, boxed, and labeled. Kit Kat, the crispy, chocolatey treat wrapped in its iconic red foil, is loved by millions across the globe. But behind this delightfully simple snack lies a fascinating world of precision, tradition, and innovation. Have you ever wondered what really makes Kit Kat so irresistibly good? In the blazing July sun, endless cocoa fields stretch across the horizon. It's harvest season, and skilled farmers begin the labor-intensive task of collecting ripe cocoa pods. Every pod is handpicked with care to avoid damaging the precious beans inside. With a swift cut of a machete, the pods are opened, revealing white, pulpy cocoa beans. These beans are nature's gift, a raw core of chocolate. Carefully laid out on massive drying mats, the beans are left under the tropical sun to dry naturally for about 8 days. During this time, they slowly lose moisture. Their shells harden, and deep within, the chocolate essence begins to form. Before these beans ever reach the factory, they go through rigorous quality inspections. Moisture levels are checked to prevent mold. Beans that are too small or underdeveloped are discarded. The first stop is a cleaning chamber, where a specially designed rotating drum gently tumbles the beans. removing any remaining shell fragments. Powerful air jets simultaneously blow away dust and debris, ensuring a flawless start to the chocolate-making process. Next, the beans undergo roasting. Much like coffee, roasting cocoa beans requires perfect control of temperature and timing. This step is a tightly guarded secret, as even a slight deviation can drastically change the final chocolate flavor. Once roasted to perfection, the beans are ground into a thick paste, which is then pressed to extract cocoa butter. Now comes the magic. The cocoa powder is blended with milk solids, sugar, cocoa butter, and a blend of other secret ingredients in enormous mixing machines. The result is a velvety molten chocolate mass. But smoothness alone isn't enough. It is the soul of Kit Kat. The crispy wafer inside is its heart. The process begins with a blend of refined wheat flour, purified water, sugar, vegetable fats, and just a pinch of salt. The batter is mixed in giant machines and poured into rectangular molds with laser precision. The molds are baked at 350 to 400 degrees Fahrenheit for just 30 seconds, sealing in the texture and flavor. Once cooled by gentle streams of air, the wafers are ready for their next layer literally. What surprises many is that the filling between Kit Kat's wafer layers isn't just chocolate. It's made using rejected Kit Kat bars. Any bar that fails inspection is ground into a fine powder and mixed into the chocolate cream filling, creating a unique flavor and texture while ensuring nothing goes to waste. This inner chocolate is smoother and slightly thinner than the outer coating, allowing it to bind the wafers together without making them soggy or brittle. Each bar is carefully coated with 3 layers, ensuring every inch is covered evenly. A final wafer is placed on top like the finishing note on a masterpiece. The bars are cooled, solidified, and cut into their familiar finger shapes. What was once a handful of ingredients has now become a beautifully formed Kit Kat. Before the finished bars hit the shelves, they undergo intense quality control. Any bar with air bubbles, uneven coatings, or structural flaws is immediately removed. But even these aren't wasted. They're recycled into the chocolate filling for future batches. The flawless bars are swiftly wrapped in foil, then sealed in that iconic red wrapper. Packaging machines hum at lightning speed, processing hundreds of bars per minute with robotic arms that never miss a beat. Every day, up to 8 million Kit Kat bars leave the factory, destined for warehouses around the globe. Have a break. Have a Kit Kat.
If you enjoy this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates. Share your thoughts in the comment section down below.